Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sauce Nation, are y'all out there, man? Are y'all ready for some flavor? I see man up in the mix. I see Mr. Killer KB, Tony Texas, Aaron Anderson, and Killing Boy. So I guess that means we need to go ahead and start stirring up some of this sauce, man. Let's go ahead and make it shake. Let's get this intro cracking. Shout out to Man Up. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing in order.
Never miss another live stream again. Hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and click see all notifications.
What's the motherfucking deal, Sauce Nation? I hope y'all all having a wonderful evening. If you're new to Sauce Sports, welcome to Sauce Sports first and foremost. And Sauce Sports is a Houston, Texas homebrew network, so that means we're talking all sports, but only Houston. With that being said, tonight we're talking about those motherfucking me Rockets, the #1 overall seed in the league. And tonight joining me, pardon me, to talk about the Rockets is one of our favorite special guests, Mr. Man Up himself. How you feeling about the game versus OKC tonight, Man Up?
Hey, man, I appreciate that. But I feel great about this one, man, because now I think what it is that, I mean, I know he's been doing it for the last few seasons, but James Harden finna show Russell Westbrook, what it do in H-Town.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to talk about that because Russell Westbrook was the latest of the folks to steal the Beard's MVP, but it is what it is. We're not going to hate on that. We're not going to trip on that. It is what it is. And they asked Russell earlier, I want to say it was today or I guess prior to the game, if he endorsed James Harden as the MVP, and he was, let's say, non-committal in his answer. He didn't want to really say that. He was just kind of like, oh, he's doing this thing, kind of shady with it, man. I think on some Mark shit. But he is a Mark, so that ain't nothing new. So right now, or at last I checked, the OKC Thunder were in a 7th seed. And but before we get up, I almost forgot. So y'all almost let me forget. See, first let me double check, make sure the bank open. I ain't even got the bank open. Let me get that in order. Okay, the bank connected. Now, first and foremost, you know how we start this thing off, man. So even if we ain't got just but a few folks in here, we're gonna start off with the motherfucking me roll call. So make sure you shout out where you're from. If you from the city, make sure you shout out your side with pride. If you're not from the city, man, make sure you shout out your city's town, state, set, click, gang, however you identify, however you get out, whatever you represent, make sure you shout that out so we can show you a little bit of love. Say for some reason you want the Thunder in the playoffs, so we'll talk about that. But we're going to get the 3 points to ponder in, and then we're going to get into some motherfucking me acres home, fofo, I see you. We're going to get into, like I said, get 3 points to ponder. We're going to talk about some Rockets action. We're going to get the sauce line dripping, and it's going to really go down this evening. And we're going to watch the motherfucking Rockets whoop that OKC Thunder ass. You already know that's going to happen. We know I ain't even got to make the prediction on that, but it's going to go down. So, first and foremost, getting into the 3 points to ponder. The first point I want to ponder is don't dismiss the Swiss. The Capella and Adams should be a very good matchup this evening between two very solid bigs. A lot of people don't give Steven Adams his credit. I do. He's a decent player, and can give you a little bit of trouble if you let him. I feel like the Rockets overall are a superior team because of all the role players and the pieces that we have in order, as opposed to those guys kind of, to me, work in a similar fashion to Golden State. But just talking about the bigs, basically, like I say again, Capella is a guy who has been playing harder. He doesn't put up the numbers consistently that I like. I feel like he could be a big number guy night in and night out. I don't know if it's the minutes and, just kind of, not saying that he's not consistent, but I just like to see just a little bit more. Like some nights he turns it all the way on and we see it, but then some nights he's just kind of, he's a little bit off, sometimes dropping passes, missing, easy dunks or certain little situations. It doesn't happen too often, but there's certain little things I think that Capella could do to clean up his game, but I'm really liking where he's at, and I only expect him to get better. How do you feel about the matchup between Capella and Steven Adams tonight, Man Up?
All right, this well how I feel about it is kind of like what you were saying just a few seconds there. Um, I think with him is that what it is with Capella. You mentioned this before, and I never paid attention to it, but when you said it, I actually watched it. I'm like, you're right. He does get a little bit timid against the bigger, more physical centers or big men, power forwards, whatever. And kind of like with Dwight Howard, even with I can't think his name right now from the Clippers. With the bigger ones, the physical ones.
Yeah, DeAndre Jordan. Yeah.
Hometown dude, I couldn't think of his name for nothing.
Yeah.
But anyway, he kind of does get a little bit timid with them. Now I'm not gonna say I think it's because he's scared or nothing. No. I think what he's doing is trying to use his. I think he's trying to bring another style to the play with those stronger guys.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to bring a little bit more finesse. That's just how I take it when I watch him with those bigger ones. Now, once it's by his size, like when he played tonight, I think he's gonna dominate with them.
Okay.
He's gonna show them, hey, I got this.
Okay.
So, I think we got it tonight.
I definitely agree with that, man. I feel like Capella overall, like I say, he's getting better. He is getting more consistent. I mean, he's starting to be able to dominate, and that's what we want from him, especially having a solid young center. And a lot of people have been making a bunch of big talk about the OKC Thunder this year, and they brought in Carmelo and they brought in Paul George. They had the MVP from last year, who we already know what happened with him last year in the first round, so we ain't gonna talk about that. But everybody's talking about OKC is going to be so good, they're going to be able to win it all. They beat Golden State a couple of times. Everybody made them the world beaters. We beat Golden State a couple of times. They act like it never happened. It's just funny how the media portrays things, but it is what it is. So, I mean, we're not going to complain about it, but we are going to get into the second point to ponder. The second point to ponder is the Rockets are ready for whatever. I believe I misspelled because I was in a rush. So, y'all can't knock me. It's supposed to be Rockets chemistry too much, not MCA. Players fuck up. I should proofread. But ready for whatever. The Rockets chemistry is too much for OKC, man. The team as a whole is much better, much more talented than OKC's four guys. And so I think that's where the problem lies, not only for OKC, but a lot of other teams, is once, your starters come off the floor, then can your bench run with the Rockets? Can your bench handle what the Rockets put on the floor? And that's where a lot of teams run into a problem. That's where that lead starts to get, where we start to pull away, because we're able to keep that dominating style of play on the floor for 48 minutes. Not a lot of people keep up with that. How do you feel about the comparison that a lot of these pundits made, or your own opinions, or however you feel personally, about the Rockets roster compared to the Thunder's roster?
Well, I'm gonna say this here. I think our roster is better than the whole NBA, and I might be saying that because I'm biased, because I'm a Rockets fan, but I'm saying that because we have people on our bench that could be starting for other teams. We have basically a starting five, and then another starting 5.5 sitting on the bench. Mm-hmm. So, for example, PJ Tucker, when if he's not starting, Ryan Anderson, now he's got benched, for Trevor Ariza, and Trevor Ariza wasn't starting in first season. So, then Nene, he was a starter before. He could still start now if he, But I'm just saying, we got a bench that's kind of deep, even with Joe Johnson. Hey, I'm high on this dude. I'm talking about Gerald Green.
Yeah.
I'm high on that dude. I mentioned him a lot, but I'm just saying, we got a bench that no one else can touch, really. And when we added Joe Johnson, that made our bench even deeper. Yeah. So I think we got that. Because, see, and then if you look at OKC, without Russell Westbrook, they basically declined. And then here comes Melo and PG3. They trying to pick up the slack. But they, got in their head, okay, he's sitting down, so I got to do everything when they're not used to doing everything. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying, so we basically got this. Our bench, man, our bench is deep.
Okay. I definitely agree with that. Our bench is super deep, and we don't really have to worry about those problems. And then that's a good thing to have, that you can feel comfortable letting your starters rest, letting your stars rest, knowing that hopefully, usually, the bench is able to sustain a lead. James Harden, I see you say you're dropping 40. I see everybody talking about Toronto's bench is deeper. We ain't even worried about that. Let them talk about that craziness if they want to. Here's the thing. Looking into my fault. Let me change this thing over here. But looking at that, like I say, I feel like, kind of agree with you. Like I say, from head to toe, if you look at this roster, man, it's stacked well. The chemistry is there. I still think you got a lot of tension with some of the guys in OKC. Again, you have too many guys who want to be in a particular role. I think Carmelo's still trying to get used to relinquishing that role, even though it's been a whole season. I think he's kind of adjusted to it, but I don't think he likes it. Paul George, again, who knows where his heart lies. So I think, OKC fans have to realize something. Right now, they're in the 7th seed. And I'm sure, Russell Westbrook is salty because, he feels like he's putting up good stats. Why am I not in the MVP conversation? And, I was it last year putting up, similar numbers. So he probably feeling salty about that. That's probably why he doesn't want to talk about James being the MVP. But I'm going to tell you something about that. This is why this game is important. Because, there's a lot of haters out there, man. And this is a game where James could solidify the MVP. I feel like most people already say it's his. But, LeBron out there trying to come in with a late ballot and say he's worth a flip, but we know that that's not. But I think this is a game, because a lot of people are looking at this, well, OKC can do all this in the playoffs. This game honestly means nothing to Houston. It's not going to change our status in the playoffs no matter what. The only thing that this could do, honestly, is if we beat them, it puts them in a position to almost – honestly, OKC could fuck around and not even be in the playoffs before it's all said and done. I mean, just being serious. I mean, because if we beat them, which we will beat them tonight, and then let me see who they have up next. If we beat them tonight, then the Thunder, they play – it's the Thunder, and then they have the Heat and the Grizzlies. So those are 2 easy games, so they'll probably win those 2. But we beat them tonight. They end up tied up with the Timberwolves and the Nuggets, and we're talking about 8th and 9th seed. So I don't know what the record is between. I don't know what the tiebreaker is between the Timberwolves and the Nuggets and the Thunder. I'm not sure what that is. I'd have to look deeper into that. But the thing about that is the Thunder losing this game potentially puts them in a position where they could fall out of the playoffs. Depending on the Nuggets schedule, the Nuggets don't play until Monday. They have the Trailblazers, so they're not going to win that. And then they play the Timberwolves. The Nuggets actually have a hard schedule coming out. And then you have the Timberwolves, who are actually in the 8th seed, and they play the Grizzlies on Monday, and then they have the Nuggets. So that's going to be a very interesting matchup. But potentially, this could put the Thunder in either out of the playoffs, or it could put them in a situation where we could play them in the first round of the playoffs in the 8th seed. But either way it goes, we're not worried about it because we knocked them out last year and we can knock them out again. But what do you think that James Harden is going to need to do this game to, just to make it an icing on the cup game? Because I think this is the last real big game against a competitor, because the next is, I think, the Lakers and the Kings are what we end the season with, something like that, the Lakers and someone else. But not really important games, not against playoff qualifying guys or guys who are trying to get in. What do you think James needs to do to make this the last big game of the season?
I think the only thing he needs to do is just stay healthy, because he already got it. I mean, there's no nothing he needs to prove. He didn't really need to prove the last 2 or 3 times that he didn't get it, that he was up for the running. So I don't think he needs to do nothing but just stay healthy. That's just my personal opinion, to tell you the truth, because no one else has been doing. He set records this year, not only for the franchise but for the NBA. Mm-hmm. When we already know, I'm talking about that when I say the 60-point triple-double that's never been done.
Exactly.
Westbrook, like a 58-point triple-double or something like that before.
I don't even know. There go Brian. I've been waiting for you, Brian. My fault. Yeah. That's my OKC part. I knew he was gonna come in here talking some trash, but yeah.
Okay, I like that.
But I'm sorry to cut you off. Yeah, but as you were saying, that historic 60-point triple-double you were talking about, that has yet to be achieved by anyone else in history. Yeah, go ahead and talk about that. I didn't mean to cut you off. Let's finish that.
Yeah. I just seen that too now. I like someone to come and, tell me that I'm wrong so I can shut them up later on. I ain't gonna say nothing. Look at them like they stupid and then just walk off. I'm not even gonna say words, because we already whooped that ass last year in the playoffs. We took them out first round, so. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I don't think he has to do anything. saying is this here. G just needs to stay healthy for the playoff. Because, like you said, these games are meaningless not right now. We just probably get a better record, you know, for the franchise. You know, other than that, we ain't got nothing to prove. If we go all the way to the NBA Finals, we got home court throughout. So, I mean, what else do he needs to do?
Okay, I definitely. I mean, I truly and from the heart, I feel that way. That there should be no possible way, even if he decided to rest the last 2 games of the season because they're meaningless. I don't think that there's any possible way that you give up this MVP to anybody else, no matter how salty Russell, the Ninja Turtle, Westbrook may be. But those are the 3 points, the 3 points to ponder. Getting into that, so y'all know when we do the pregame or the game previews. But first, before we get into that, actually, let me make sure I stay on point. Let me give y'all a little sauce raffle, okay? Rockets versus OKC tonight. Let's see.
I like that one.
All right, I got it. This what we gonna throw there. We gonna put all right, this gonna be the key word for the raffle tonight. Matter of fact, just because it's a big game tonight, we're gonna make it I'm gonna make it a $250,000 sauce. So we're gonna put some big flavor on it. You know, the pre-games, that's your time to win, because nobody really be watching the Rockets. They be coming for their Texans talk. So the pre-games be smart. That's your chance to win. That's when you're supposed to tune in. That's when you get all the flavor. That's when you hit the licks. So we'll get that jumping off. So y'all have a higher chance of winning that. Oklahoma. That's funny. Say Paul George and Melo will be the difference. All right, I'm gonna put. Look, I got you. Look, that's what we about to pull up. I got the raffle going, so we finna pull up the mark my words. And if you don't know what mark my words is, mark my words means you have to go out on a limb. You have to make a bold prediction. You can't just be a regular prediction. You got to go out and make a bold prediction as to what's going to happen in the game tonight. And remember, if y'all get close on the mark my words, you can get everybody some super sauce. So make sure y'all participate in that. Make sure y'all give it what you got for a poke chop. All right. And here's the thing. Here's the thing, because Triple X be out there trying to let me trying to bet against the Rockets. So here's the deal with Triple X. If you bet against the Rockets, you know, you win 50,000 if they lose. If they win, we take 20,000. So just remember that if you want to go against the Rockets, that's fine. But there are consequences. Yeah, it's biased. You know what I'm saying? It's the house rules. Yes, because I told y'all it's homerism going over, and I ain't even hiding that shit. I'm letting y'all know straight up and down. But straight up and down. So let's get somebody to mark my words. Let's see. Mark my words. As a matter of fact, let me look in the live chat. That's why I say I got to keep forgetting that the live chat is where it goes down. I'll be over there. Yeah, Ruben say he on a blind date. You say you on a date or on a blind date, Ruben? Because if you're on a blind date, how does that situation happen? Brian saying it's going to be Melo and Paul to watch out for. Okay, I see. I got you, Roscoe. You saying it's Melo and Paul. It must be Melo and Chris Paul, because that's the Paul that's going to ball.
Nobody else, not Paul George. Mm-hmm. Well, now you're playing for OKC, you ain't. You're playing for somebody else who probably would. Because we already know Westbrook on ball hall. What's that center's name? No, he's not a center. God, I can't think of his name. He had a good career before he went to OKC. Left OKC, came to OKC, mediocre, and left again, doing good again. I can't think of his name right now.
I know, buddy, because I keep forgetting his name. Every time I try to think of it, it just don't sit in. You saying Westbrook 35, 10, and 10. Okay, hold on. Let me say, what is it? You say 35, 10, and 10. You say Westbrook with the triple. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to tell y'all exactly what's going to happen. That's why I say I'm going to tell y'all my prediction. You say PG with 20, Brian Adams. No, not Steven Adams. I'm thinking Brian Adams. Not Steven Adams, the other guy they had. He went in there, he was looking boo-boo. He said Melo going to drop 21. All right. Ruben says Westbrook will have the best. Westbrook may have the best stats, because this is what he's going to do. He may have the best stat line, but he'll have the worst efficiency doing it.
Yeah. He was like last year when he had all those triple doubles. He had great stats. But what did your team do?
Had absolutely nothing. Serge Ibaka balling too. Man, up say 30 or 15. Okay. I see. This is what I'm hoping is going to happen. I'm hoping the Rockets are looking at this like, okay, cool. This is a challenge, like a playoff scenario. You know what I mean? Because we're getting bored. We're getting tired of all the the games that again are meaningless. We're gonna step it up when it counts. That's why they wasn't getting up for Phoenix and some of those other teams that weren't really in the mix. But when it came to even playing against the Trailblazers without Dame, they really weren't. Was it Cantor? Where did Cantor end up going? Enes Cantor, I want to say so.
I think it was Cantor.
I want to say.
I think it was Cantor.
Enes Cantor. Cantor. That's funny. You say it. Okay. Let's see. But here's my thing. So, like I said, I'm hoping they're looking at this. I'm hoping they can get their energy up and look at this like a playoff game. You say, okay, cool. This will be a playoff preview. And we can go ahead and let boys know that we ain't playing no games right now. This could be a statement game early on to let people know. Everybody thinks that OKC is going to be a challenge to teams in the playoffs. I think that the thing that is going to limit OKC has been and always will be Russell Westbrook.
Yep.
And I find that unfortunate. I hate to say that, but I feel like that's the case. Because he wants to be the man instead of getting the wins. That's his issue. He'd rather be the man than get the win, knowing that it could be somebody else wide open at the end of the game. He's still going to be the one that takes that shot, knowing that his percentage is piss poor. He got a shitty chance of hitting that hoe. You put some crow on it.
Yeah. Look at it like this. Look at it like this. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
What? Just look at Kevin Durant and James Harden. Mm-hmm. Look at how great of careers they're having leaving OKC. Mm-hmm. Just think about that for a moment. Now we all know Kevin Durant won a championship with the Warriors. I'm not even talking about just winning a championship. I'm talking about their careers, period. Just look at it. What are they doing now that they left? James Harden was coming off the bench in OKC. Now look at him when he leaves.
Yeah.
Because that just tells you right there. And then look at Paul George when he was with the Pacers, Carmelo even with the Knicks, even Carmelo with the Nuggets back in the day.
Yeah.
Look how great their careers was. Now they go to here with him. And look, they stat line just go whoo, and with no win. Mm-hmm. So that's all I'm saying right there is this. This man here, he'd rather have the ball in his hands instead of playing team ball. It's not 1-on-5, it's 5-on-5. That was on the court at all times. Mm-hmm. 1-on-5. Yeah. Or sometimes 2-on-5. Because he needs somebody to pass him the ball. So that's what I'm saying.
Exactly. And that's his whole thing. Like I said, he only utilizes his teammates to the benefit to his benefit, not for what is the benefit of the team. He looks for advantages and what can he get me a stat? You see him stealing easy rebounds from teammates. You see him, like I say, peeling off on it. Russell Westbrook played defense maybe once every 6 possessions. You know what I mean? And he just doesn't. And people don't ever talk about that. Ever talk about the lackluster defense that he plays because he is exciting, because he's athletic on offense, and that's what people see. But in reality, statistically, he's not very good at all. He's not good at all. Let's see. Let's do a sauce update. Let me see where y'all at. Let me see who got the sauce. Who's leading the sauce right now? VD Child is leading in the flavor. Second is Jay Dizzle, followed by a very close third, Brian Gain. That's funny. That's funny as shit. But yeah, man, here's the thing. Like I say, that's my problem is that until Westbrook learns how to change his attitude or change his thought process, the way he approaches the game. And even sometimes when it seems like he does, like last year, the only playoff game they won is when he actually looked to pass the ball first. And when he was passing first, when he was actually finding teammates, letting them get open, they won games because he had talented teammates around him. But when he goes in thinking, I'm going to be the man, I'm going to go ahead and get this triple-double and get this L, then there it is. Of course, you're going to, if you're still getting the same treatment, motherfuckers are treating you like you won because you got a triple-double, then you just going to keep pursuing that because you're getting this artificial stimulation like you're really doing something. And I think that strokes his ego in the wrong direction, man. So It is what it is, though.
I also look at it like this here, man. Well, just look at okay. If everybody know the history, I know you got people my age and a little bit older, but look at Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was that way too when he first came to the league. Phil Jackson got to him and said, "Look, become a team player, do more than just scoring." Then look what happened.
Yeah.
6 titles, 3 up. No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Look at it like that.
Yeah, you got to be able to change it up. But like I said, his whole mind state, his whole mind frame, he's like I say, he's Russ first, he's Westbrook first, and the rest of y'all can get whatever. Y'all can get the scraps of my scraps because most of the shit I'm putting up is scraps, and then y'all can have whatever left over, off my bricks and shit, and y'all can eat. But that's the thing. So, but people see the flashy shit, they see that type of shit, and they glorify it. Just because James has a like I say, a low-key game. He don't get all excited, don't go down like that. He's not high-flying. It don't matter. He puts the bucket in the hoop, and he does the thing that is most important, score points, and that's all that counts. You say the game is close, Westbrook going to shoot like 6 threes and miss them all. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. That's the type of shit that he'll do. He won't even leave it to chance for someone else who is probably in a better situation to shoot, probably wide open. Just he's going to take the shot. He's going to figure he's not looking. He's not thinking about anybody else. He's trying to figure out how can I be the hero and hit this shot. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, and it's not to say that, I know what the outcome is going to be like that. It's just to say that we all see what he's done, what he does. We've seen this for a long period of time. And first when Harden left first, then Kevin Durant. But when Kevin Durant left, we all heard the story about what he was saying. Kevin Durant, that is. How, Russell Westbrook said Spalding is his best friend and stuff like that, talking about the basketball. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're not going to succeed. The only thing you're going to do is just make money. And that's what you want to do, then, hey, you're doing what you want. Mm-hmm. You'll never succeed that way.
Exactly.
Never.
But
that
might be the thing you want to do.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, I said, but that just might be the goal that he wants. He might just be there for the money. Championships might not be his thing. I see y'all in there talking about man. Hey, I might have to agree with Roscoe on that one, man. You got to give people don't give Pippen credit that he don't get his just due for those titles because you got to look at even when Jordan left. The Bulls were still balling. The Bulls were still hooping. They were still getting to the playoff. Pippen was solid. Like, everybody wants to give it to Jordan because he was the flash, because he was the one, you know what I'm saying? That's what he stood out. He's what you saw. And, of course, he's the one that put on all those amazing performances. Again, not taking anything away from Jordan. But did he get there without Pippen? That's what people don't want to give motherfuckers credit for. It takes 2 to make a thing go right, okay? You know what I'm saying? And so... but Golden State went and got him 4 of them. Try to make it go right. But the thing is, you just can't. You got to give Pippen his due. As much as I don't even care for Pippen, because his ass is too fucking smug, just be feeling himself. If we'd have played the Rockets, I'd had to get on him. I'd had to shut him. Like, you shut down, shit. Shut your ass up. When the Rockets and the Bulls used to meet up in the 90s, it was a one-sided affair. I remember Hakeem even got with Jordan a couple of times to end some of those, man. Yeah. Jordan.
Look up the stats. Yeah. I showed this to a friend of mine. Look up the stats. Of course, we never met in the finals. Of course, you're not going to meet in the playoffs. You won't meet in the finals. But we never met in the finals. But look at the stats. When the Bulls won their first title until their last, who had the winning record against them in the regular season every year?
Oh, yeah, all right.
The Rockets.
You already know. But people sit there and say, if Jordan would have been there, y'all would have seen Jordan get smoked. Y'all would have been talking about Jordan like LeBron if Jordan would have met up with the Rockets. The Rockets were Jordan's kryptonite. But people ain't going to admit that because they didn't play like that. You know what I mean? She was, a Western Conference, Eastern Conference situation. But if you go back and watch some of those, you can find it on YouTube. And Jordan will even tell you why Hakeem was his favorite player. The first player you asked Jordan about, first name out of his mouth was Hakeem Olajuwon, without a hesitation, without a second guess, without thinking twice about it. So you never see Jordan show anybody respect. And Jordan don't even show respect to the motherfucker who buy his shit. Damn, they want to spit on them ass. They spit on their ass. So it's that motherfucker there ain't worth the fuck. I don't like Jordan ass either. He feel himself a little too much too. But
I hate his name, Honcho B. Yeah, Michael Jordan did admit that he glad that the Rockets could never make it out the West.
Yeah.
He said that out of his mouth. I have the video. I have the say I'm gonna post that one day. I have to say what Jordan said that himself out of his mouth.
Yeah.
And then also too, this is another thing. Just look at it like this. I know we're kind of getting off topic, but
That's
since
all
we
good.
starting to talk,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm getting a little heated.
You know how the sauce get. You know how the sauce get. It's all good, man.
But also too, check this out. Check this out. Olajuwon built a gym because he still plays basketball.
Yeah.
He built a gym, and look at all the superstars that come to him to learn footwork, how to play the game. We talking about Amari Stoudemire. We even talking about Kobe Bryant. We even talking about LeBron James.
Exactly. And you saw it immediately in their game after they left. You saw a noticeable change the next season after those guys worked with Hakeem Olajuwon, and you saw them next season. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. You saw a noticeable change. But nobody goes. Everybody want to call everybody else the greats and this and that. But who else does that? Who else are people going to like that? You seeing that the best of the best. So you talking about Kobe. You talking about LeBron. Like you said, Stoudemire, when he was balling, he was the man. You know what I'm saying? We talking about these guys in their prime going to Hakeem Olajuwon, and then you see immediate significant impact the next season. That shows you how good that man was and how much he understood what the fuck it was he was doing, man.
I mean, the list goes on. I mean, you can say even a couple of Rockets players, but I'm just naming some that never played for the Rockets.
Yeah.
You know, even, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, just think about that. Just think about that for a moment. And then I brought this up to a friend of mine who was talking crap. And I told him, I say, think about this. Olajuwon is a Muslim.
Yeah.
He can go days without eating. Did you ever notice that while he was playing? Did you ever notice he would finish anything?
Yeah, he would be on that Ramadan or whatever it is when they be fasting. He'd be still out there playing like it wasn't nothing.
Yeah, but you let you go the whole day without eating. You're gonna be so weak and so tired, you ain't gonna get up.
That fasting ain't no joke. Look, I done some fast, but I ain't finna go play no basketball. I'm not finna play in a professional basketball game after no fast. Look, if I'm fasting, I'm chilling. But if you talking about playing a professional high level at the highest level of the sport and being successful while fasting. So it wasn't like he went out there looked like he was just piss poor. I think it was one game they said he was a little tired, but but I'm talking about after doing this is later on towards the end of the career. I got a good question for you. And I'm glad Brian brought that up because it almost slipped my mind because they saw a little interview and again, PG-13 was not really committed on where he was going to do at the end of the season. How do you feel? What do you really think is going to happen with Paul George? Does he stay in OKC this summer or does he find a new home?
From the things that I've been hearing, I think he's finding a new home. I think him and Melo, to be honest with you, because the way they're talking, the way they're acting, the way even if you watched a few OKC games, the chemistry is not there. And I think they both find new homes next season.
Okay. So you feel like they're just trying to play through it right now. It just is what it is. They're going to get this season over with. Don't care about the outcome. They just want to get it done. If they win, they win. If they don't, they don't. And these guys bounce and say they don't want to rock. Okay. I can see that. And so what happens then? What becomes the narrative then after you see these two guys bounce and leave OKC? I mean, what do you think the public opinion or the media opinion becomes on Russell Westbrook? You've seen a number of superstars. You've seen this guy probably have more superstars around him than any other player that you can imagine. And aside from, just Harden necessarily getting traded, a lot of these guys left willingly, or a lot of these guys have bounced on and gone on. I mean, what do you think that says about Russell Westbrook, in the future, or how do you think people will view Russell Westbrook again after losing this many superstars? Do you think they don't care? They think that people realize that nobody wants to play with him because of his style, the way he is, or do you think it just is what it is?
I think he's even going to open his eyes up. That's what I think, because that old saying goes, everybody's not going to lie on you. Somebody has to be telling the truth. So even he's going to open his eyes up and start figuring out, okay, what's going on? Is it me? Is it the organization? Is it the city? Is it the team colors? What? Something. What is it? He's gonna be like, okay, something ain't right here. What is it that's going on? Do I need to change something? Whatever. He's gonna start thinking about that. Because like I said, you can look at all these other people that's been around him. And they left and having great careers. So, I mean, come on. Okay. I mean, what else? What else needs to be said?
Okay.
What else needs to be said?
Okay. So we're gonna y'all know what it is, getting closer towards the end of the stream because y'all know the pregame we go 45 before the games usually at the latest, 30. But as we're starting to wind down, it's time for us to get those score predictions in. And so I want to know what y'all feel. I mean, y'all got to put that on there. Like I think to mark my words, I said I give y'all $20K for that if y'all get those right, and if you get the score prediction close, then you get a $10K for everybody. And I give you 5 points leeway, so make sure y'all try to estimate and guesstimate as best y'all can. Man up, you want to put the first score prediction out there? What do you feel like the score is going to be at the end of the night tonight?
I think it's going to be a high score, and I'm going to say 130 to 125, Houston.
Okay. Man up says.
Because we already know Westbrook going to try to be taking a lot of shots, so 130 to 125, Houston. Going to be kind of close.
Okay. I like it when Westbrook takes shots. I'm always happy. The more shots that Westbrook takes, that makes me feel good. I feel better about it. I mean, I don't care if he's hot for the night. I mean, the more shots he takes, that just lets me know if the game is close. At the end of the game, he's going to feel like he's the one that needs to take that shot, and he will miss that bit. So, I mean, he could be on fire the whole game. And when it comes down to being clutch, he is the anti-clutch. I see you, Anthony Glover. What's the motherfucking deal? You say 122, 110. Jay Dizzle say 113, 87. Like I say, my thing is that I can see it though, because the Rockets made like. Here's the thing though. Like as we're talking about this, because the Oklahoma, they're a solid defense even without Roberson. Now they lost a lot when they lost Roberson. You know what I'm saying? Because he was one of their better defenders. You know what I mean? But people, I don't know why people believe that, but OKC has a solid defense. They're not trash. The Rockets, I got to look again. I'm not sure where they're ranked though, but they have a easily top 10 defense. It's going to be very interesting to see. I think this might be a more defensive game than we would like. I don't know. I'm now that I'm thinking about it, it could get a little bit more, but then again, it could get a little carefree. People might just want to be, hey, look, we trying to ball, we trying to show each other up, or. Rockets going to try to show up OKC. OKC going to try to hang for a little while. Then we going, take off like a rocket. Olajuwon Hakeem on them. And I keep forgetting to change the thing for the rocket stream. But, we going to do the damn thing, I feel like, in the long run. I feel like in the end of everything, Brian, you say 121, 116 OKC. I got you. You say 121. I got you. Maybe he been sticking trying true to it all season. So, okay, I got you.
I saw one person on here said that Russell Westbrook, Chet Collins said Westbrook, it goes for 17 for 56 tonight.
Oh, okay, 17 for 56. But the thing about it is, here's the thing. Like, it sounds crazy. It's almost not far fetched because remember that one night he had a decent game against us, but it took him what Pat Beverly told him. You took 40 shots to get it. You know what I'm saying? It literally did. It took 40 fucking shots. Like, what kind of shit is that? I wouldn't be surprised to see Westbrook shoot 50, 60 shots in a game. I'm not surprised in the slightest, man. So we go see what's shaking with that. Let me make sure I ain't missing. Nip Slip says 125, 105. Okay. And I say, I got all, make sure I'm getting all y'all. I see Glover. I see Jay Dizzle with the 137, 87. Chet with the 127, 101. Brian with the 121, 116. Root for the OKC. Man up said 130, 125. And I see Anthony Glover with the 122 to 110. So, okay, make sure I got all y'all. Unbeaten. Okay. But then I'm gonna drop. Let me as I'm thinking about it, as I'm thinking about what's going on right now. And Nip Slip say he gonna go for 0 for 6 in the last 2 minutes. I believe it. Trying to do too much. And the thing about it, he kills me when he be just celebrating after the shots. He really be trying to hide his excitement because of how lucky he is. You know what I'm saying? He really don't want y'all to know that he ain't think he was going to make that shot either. But he be like stunting like he really just a shooter. Like, come on, man. You stop the nonsense. Stop the nonsense. 121, 116. Let me make sure I got that. Okay, so we got another 121, 116, but going the other way. Okay, so we go, if it's 121, 116 either way, that's going to be very interesting. Berkeley got you with the 115, 109. All right, so my thing is this. Again, I said these are two pretty good defensive teams. I think you have a situation where I think Anthony Davis going to Portland. Ooh, that would be nasty. If Anthony Davis went to Portland, That would be a dangerous situation. That would be bad. But the only thing you're going to have to deal with that, though, is, well, I don't think Anthony Davis is tripping on coming off the rock a little bit. I don't think he's tripping on that at all. You got him. Dame is going to have to be the one that's going to be making sure he don't want to lose no touches. You know what I'm saying? Dame like his game. Eric Villa, I got you tonight. That's a BET. Or I got you 105 to 97. That's a bet. But yeah, man. So that's a very dangerous thought. I don't even want to think about that right now, Brian. Anthony Davis going to Portland. I'm telling you, that could upset some folks. That might be a very, very dangerous team. Portland's all right. Yep. You know, they're not quite there yet, but you get somebody like that, it could get ugly. But yeah, like I say, we got a real close West. Again, half a game away from the 8th seed. So if they lose tonight, they will be tied up again. I don't know what their record is versus the Timberwolves, so I don't know who owns the tiebreaker in that, but we'll have to see. But again, the Timberwolves look like they could win out, and I saw someone say that the Timberwolves got Jimmy Butler back. So this game will be very important for OKC. So OKC will be playing hard. They will be giving it everything that they have. The Rockets, I believe they'll be playing hard for pride, just to let people know that, hey, we can put anybody away, that we can beat anybody we want. And so I still feel like they're going to come out and play some ball. I don't think they're going to come out lackadaisical because they know who they're going up against. And this is one of those games where, okay, we should have proved them dudes wrong. We should go ahead and show them how much better we are. We don't care about what star names on that side. We're going to let them know who the stars is on this side. I feel like the Rockets come away with a W, but I think it's going to be a lower score than we'd like. I think the Rockets win this one under 100. I'm going to say 98 to 87.
No, we only done that, I think, twice all season. 101. I think twice, if I'm mistaken.
I'm saying 98 to 87. Right. I just feel like I say, the Thunder going to come out. They're going to give it everything they are. Because, again, like I say, they got something. Their back's against the wall. Like, this right here could be detrimental to their situation because the Thunder like to fuck around and go and lose to some 500. They'll step it up for the big names and then go fuck around and lose to an under 500 ass team. That's the thing about me, is their inconsistencies. What kills me, you know, for them to have that much talent, they should be whooping people. They should be beating the shit out of people, but they're not. But again, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Ain't been ready to come on now.
Yep. So we finna get ready to slide and ride and do all that other stuff. But again, I want to shout out to everybody. Anybody you want to shout out to before we get up out of here?
Oh, no. I just want to say I appreciate you once again for having me on. Appreciate everyone in the chat. And I think that's Brian Ross. Brian, I think that's the OKC fan.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. But we all can't be perfect.
All right.
I got something to do.
That's a BET. Tonight, make sure y'all stay tuned. Later on, I want to say about 8:15 or so. Yes, actually here shortly. I didn't realize how close it would be when the game came on later. I will be doing a little MMA pre-show with Parrish, Scrooston Sports. We'll be talking about the fights tonight, what's transpired over the last few days with the UFC and things like that. But we'll do a little pre-fight talk. And so if y'all want to be a part of that, we make sure you tune in because I will be doing that and looking at the Rockets game at the same time. So y'all don't judge me. But it's okay. Let them pick OKC. We ain't worried about that. We have absolutely no concern about OKC getting picked whatsoever. It is what it is. But again, I thank all y'all, Sauce Nation. Y'all cool. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a den tonight too. After we do the little MMA pregame show, I'm gonna do a den tonight, and then I'll probably get on Twitch or something like that later on, talk a little trash. So we definitely gonna make sure. Yes, it will be a den. Let me think. So matter of fact, because the MMA should go from 8:15 to 9 o'clock, because I think the prelims and all that shit is the first fight should be at 9. So let's say 10 o'clock for the den tonight. 9:30, 10 o'clock. Be tuned in for that if y'all missed that. But with that being said, y'all be cool like y'all be cool, because we finna go catch this Rockets, whoop this OKC ass, man. And so that's okay. Let them pick the wrong teams because that means we gonna win. Exactly. Represent on, stun on them one time real quick because let them pick the wrong team because they can eat that crow. That's why the crow's sitting there with his cigarette lit. You know what I'm saying? He might be looking different when we see him tomorrow. After that, he might have a Rockets cap on or something just because he's gonna have to stunt. But with that being said, man, we're gonna chuck up the dudes. We're gonna go catch this game, and I appreciate y'all falling through, Sauce Nation. Y'all the freshest motherfucking ingredients. And again, I'll catch y'all 8:15ish or so. And with that being said, we up out here. Y'all be cool. Stay saucy. We out.